Well, for once we have
Well,
fucking news, so it's pretty good.
it is pretty good.
Oh yeah, bro. So I'm gonna tell me when we're recording, or I don't know how you want to cut this in.
I'm recording, but I have orders of business before we get to the news.
Okay.
Rather than orders of business, it is my news. I have news. Uh,
Okay.
Welcome to this week's episode of Totally Oblivious. I'm your host. I'm Caleb. That guy right next to me, right there, that's Alex,
Hello.
and we are totally oblivious. We both have news today, and also later on, I have a new segment that I'd like to call Caleb Reviews New Tech. We don't know how often that will happen, so this will be the
Anytime he's interested in new technology.
anytime there's new tech that I find interesting, it'll appear at some point in that a podcast episode. Anyway, I have news, personal life news, but news nonetheless. Alex, there I
Mm-hmm.
was yesterday, as of us
Mm-hmm.
recording. So it'd be last Wednesday for posterity. There I was in my humble abode. Thought it'd be a nice, quiet, peaceful evening. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do some house chores. I'm going to get caught up on chores. I'm going to be working on a little project I've been putting off for a while. I'm going to clean my room a little bit. Those two are kind of in conjunction with one another. But anyway, that's aside the point. I started cleaning, and I go into one of our closets in the house, and I discovered that my house has been compromised.
By what?
Mice.
Time to get a cat.
We
Inside
have
job.
two, and they've failed. But yeah, there. I discovered there are mice in the house, and I proceeded to have to clean out that entire closet, and I spent pretty much the entirety of my evening cleaning.
You can see the news on my other side of my screen.
And so and so as such, as the house has been compromised, we now I have enacted the Great Starvation Protocol. There's no we no longer have excess food in the house. We don't have food stored. Our pantry is empty. We are going this whole summer probably is going to be bare minimum of food possible in the house to starve out the mice, as well as every animal's food will be under lock and key, and the animals will be significantly, not significantly, but we will be feeding them less than usual so we can ensure that there is no leftover food scraps. I am going to starve those mice out. I have this set up for dramatic effect. If there are any mice out there watching this, let me tell you, there is no hope for you. There's no hope for your survival. We will come out victorious. And the only thing that will be left for you is either death by starvation or death by being eaten by one of the other animals that reside in this area, whose food supplies will be as well diminished to starve you out. There is no escape other than through the gates of heaven. The only thing I wish for you is a quick death, for it will make the rest of our lives easier. I have no remorse for my actions. Anyway, that was my news.
Well, that explains why it took you 40 minutes to well, I know why it took you longer to set up.
There has been so much bullcrap, and it all started with those stupid mice. But anyway, let's get in the news. Apparently, some
Caleb is
wild
today,
bullcrap is happening in news. I heard somewhat of what's going on, but I kept myself spoil free so I could let Alex explain it to me.
So, Caleb, you've been out of the girly game. You don't know the girly vocabulary. You try to keep away from most of the internet spiel.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know what the term the girlies are fighting refers to?
I think I have an idea.
So it happens when two friends go into conflict with each other about drama, and so it's happening at a very large political scale in the United States. So as of I want to say like Monday, when was that interview with hold on.
I'm getting a breakdown.
Hold on. How long ago was this?
Where's Moist Critical?
No, he probably wouldn't talk about it, but he might talk about it tomorrow. Unironically, I think this was about it's about a week ago. So about a week ago, Trump and Elon officially kind of went their own separate ways. On the surface level, it seemed like Doge did its thing, and it just ended up leaving.
Mm-hmm.
They went their separate ways. One side tried to do their best, and they came out of it with the information that the United States doesn't actually have any form of technological corruption, like at all. So there's like no like. The reason why that would be true, I remember we're actually recording this late at night, so I kind of have to give you a little bit of an ASMR. So my bad, viewers.
So from what I'm understanding, is basically that whole Doge situation actually ended up costing the government more money than than anything. So it did the exact opposite of what it was intended.
Because they found nothing. Word from Elon, they were like, we found nothing. This was a waste of time.
There was nothing.
And so that was a week ago. About a day ago, I'd say roughly, the girlies were fighting. Elon is no longer part of that boat.
He got kicked off the island.
No, he voluntarily left.
Oh, he left the island.
It seems like he no longer wanted to be associated with them. So
interesting.
Throughout all of yesterday and today, while it still seems like Elon is still Republican to a certain degree, he is no longer a Trumpy. He no longer supports MAGA.
Interesting.
And I'm gonna stream this for you. So hold on.
Because
I'm gonna let you read.
That's been kind of like his whole deal. That's been kind of like what he's been building his own follower base to, like whatever four people those might be that aren't his own alternate accounts.
Maybe. So I'm gonna show you. Here's my main screen.
All right, what are we looking at?
Pop it up. Here's just my main screen. I'm gonna show you. Remember the last few times we talked about this little source of information here?
Which source?
About this little topic.
I think I'm trying to remember what we talked about last time that was in regards.
No, this is a few months. This is a few months ago.
I genuinely can't remember.
Do you want to read the tweet I have in front of you?
Sure. After I just put a cherry in my mouth. Is it up?
It is up. It's up on the live stream.
Oh my!
I have on Discord.
Hold on, gang.
I don't want to read it off to you. I want
our
you.
Cameras are tiny, and
it's fine. It's fine.
I think it's lagging. It's not loading your live stream.
Okay, then I'll just say it. You'll be
Alright.
able to find the tweet and you can put it on
Alright.
screen.
End share.
Yeah, hold on. So I'll turn off the
I
stream.
I don't know.
So I'll read it. I'll read it off to you.
Go.
This is a real tweet. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Time to drop. So this is context. This is after like Elon's basically falling out. He's done with him. Like he's just really pissed, right?
Uh-huh.
So he says verbatim on this tweet, time to drop the real big bomb. At Donald, Trump, whatever, is in the Epstein files. This is the reason why they haven't been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump.
What?
I can actually show you. So if you actually look on my screen, Caleb might have to zoom in and post. It's real.
Mhm.
It's on this side of my monitor. It's right here. You can barely see it. My mouse is right here. If you can maybe see the wiggle. If this is real,
I do
right?
I do have to quickly interject.
Mm-hmm.
Him saying that is only new knowledge to MAGA people.
Yes, but this does a lot of ramification.
Uh-huh.
Fuck. It's kind of hype in a really weird way. I'm in a tank top saying this, so I really look like a crazy person. Also, I think Alex Jones is in this thread somewhere.
What is Alex Jones's take? I shouldn't be curious, but I am.
Do you want to hear it?
What's his
I
take?
found it.
What is
Alex
he?
Jones. Alex Jones, right? The most craziest conspiracy theorist ever, who kind of has some good points, but they're fucked up in some ways. Because he did do the whole. He went undercover when Bohemian Grove. All Alex Jones says is "God help us all." So when you have Alex Jones, the crazy guy, going, "Oh fuck," on top of and I've basically theorized this for like weeks at this point, like overlooking this presidency. This is ass fascism. It's terrible. It was never gonna last.
Is this their?
It's more authoritarianism.
Is this their? Is this their?
This is their fault.
Their their hangover. Bradley Cooper on the phone. We effed up.
Yes. So hold on, I'm focusing. Hold on, I got to block onto my eyes. Why am I not focused? Focus. Hold on, we're gonna be on my face real quick.
Focusing.
This is the beginning of the end.
Focusing.
I'm focusing. I'm focused right here, bro. You see me? You see my fucking eyes? This is the beginning of the end. Also, you're not stuttering anymore. That because you're that close. Oh, never mind. It did. This is the beginning of the end. There is, if what people speculate is true on that file to be 100% accurate, we've put in a pedophile twice into office. Then there is, if Elon is ratting him out now, no, okay. There's multiple things. First off, you were working with a pedophile, so
Knowingly.
Second off, he could just be like, it could just be a name mention. There actually might not be any actual like evidence to it.
Even though the actual evidence was released and he was on it.
Yeah, but like him touching underage, boys and girls, might have to beep that in post.
Conjecture. We that I guess we can assume if he was in that room that he did it. But we don't have the evidence to say that he actually did. But one can assume that why else would you be there? Especially somebody as ingrained in the industry as he was at that period in time.
So, with that being the case,
multiple times,
this ends up signifying that this isn't going to be a forever thing. Either A, he will actually be properly impeached because eventually, enough damage will be done, or B, no one's gonna go for a re-election. His numbers are abysmal. They're like at
Well, he can't.
46%. Oh yeah. But even if there was like a third term bullshit, like he could do it, no one would vote him in. It'd almost be virtually impossible. Also, from how he was tweeting too, some people are speculating that, and I don't necessarily believe this because I don't think he would have had the power to get into all those systems unless he backdoored his way in, which is a major, that leads down a whole different rabbit hole of like him interfering in election fraud.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, this is coming from the conspiracy critic, and I try to be really truthful or like really be smart when I talk about conspiracies like that, but with the amount of votes that weren't there compared to the Biden administration or that election previous to it, there is a lot of room to say that, or at least some evidence under the tech bro influence and shit like that, that there was potentially election fraud too. So there is like a lot of stuff here boiling over. So we're how do I put this, right? I'm putting this on like a lot of levels. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but like this event, right, kind of signifies a lot of things here. This is the dying corpse of the old guard utterly failing on itself.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad's generation, well, technically he's a millennial. He's literally like 1 year off from, being a boomer.
Wouldn't it be Gen X?
Yeah, oh, Gen X, my bad. Yeah, he's 1 year off, but it's like, wow, the camera does not want to focus on me today. I think it's because I'm with all this black. But the old system can no longer operate.
Mm-hmm.
Not even somebody. I think Elon. What isn't Elon like 45? He's about my mom's age. I think he's right with my mom in terms of the Gen X stuff. So it's like, this isn't gonna last much longer. If Elon's leaving him, half his fucking corporate staff isn't doing what they're doing. Medicare is being cut. At one point with the Republican Party here, there is going to be a separation between MAGA and like an actual just Republican.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bound to happen. I know there was a whole bunch of like alt-right stuff that kind of consumed the internet at the time, like Trump was getting reelected and stuff. And that could happen again, but like in recent times, that's kind of gone down for the most part, unless you're on Twitter. And then TikTok's a bit weird on that regard too. But it just seems like it's not going in their favor. Even if you want to say like in Republican circles, they're echo chambering themselves and they think it's good. It doesn't seem like that anymore, and I'd have to go over to that. It doesn't. There seems like there's no cohesion over there, and then the White House also has a golf course now. That happened too. So it's like, what are we doing? Like the next election cycle is going to be fucking nuts. I'm telling you this right now. It is going to be a fucking fight because
Are
now
we
it's going to
at
be like,
anything goes at this point?
it might be because what this basically symbolizes. I'm going to use my little bit of my historian stuff. This is another reset for the Republican Party yet again. This is like what, their third time doing this
I
over
think
the
so.
300 years of America, because it's not operating like it should, which
Well,
makes sense.
they've only
Fascism,
existed for I think 200 years of the 300 years of America.
yeah, something like that. This is like the third or second like reset. It seems like, because like it is. This isn't fascism. Fascism is a much more complicated subject and political structure. This isn't. This is authoritarianism. But authoritarianism only works when the guy at the top has the power to do it, and like he has control of the people, and it's clearly not. America is not like the Middle East or any of these other nations. Like luckily, right, where at least a majority of the population has more common sense than most. They kind of realize that they have a minimum of what they need and want, and it's like it's looking like it's going to swing hard left. at least
Yeah.
what people want. It's like Medicaid got cut. Why the fuck did it get cut? Uh, there's some other things. Job Corp also lost during this week too. That got completely axed. So I'm not gonna say it like it's almost biblical, like something's gonna change. Like I'm gonna say there's an FDR on the horizon, right?
We wish.
I wish. Oh my god, I'd fucking wish if I can get the reincarnation of fucking FDR for the next 8 years. Holy banger, right?
Just minus the Japanese internment, and it's like perfect.
Yeah. So it right now in America, looking at what Elon's saying, looking how that whole fucking tech versus old person debacle is going down, it's failing.
Mm-hmm.
And then some Republicans or some MAGA people or supporters are just like, "Oh, Elon's throwing a hissy fit." I'm like, I don't think you realize what the magnitude is going on here, because you're losing people that know what the fuck Elon. Okay, I'm gonna give Elon his credit. I think he's a dumbass, but he knows higher concepts of technology than most people. So losing him, you've lost everybody. Nothing operates now
So
past that point.
so I do have the question though, is what started that? Like what was the moment that made Elon go, I not like you anymore? I don't want to be your friend anymore.
People think Elon's autistic. He definitely has symptoms. So this is probably him like having a moment where he goes, "Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in. I'll make it funny." Where he you do your Donald Trump impression, right? Just say anything.
Elon, we are going to cut everything that benefits people, and that'll save us so much money in the country, and it's gonna be huge, and our pockets are gonna get super wealthy. It's gonna be great.
Say something about poor people.
Poor people, we don't need them, other than to fill our pockets more. That's all. That's all they're for. It's just making our pockets more full of money, and for and
And that's what he.
for
And that's what he
going on
probably did.
for kidnapping their children and putting them on islands.
Who knows? It might have actually been that fucking kid. He probably maybe it was just one night, right? Maybe it wasn't even a conversation where he looks at his kid and he just goes, because of course this is all stuff behind closed doors. We don't know. I'd like to think maybe Elon slowly had like a redemption arc personally, and like history won't record it. Like a little bit of storytelling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's just sitting in his bed. He goes, "Oh, I fucked up." um I think that was the point. It was something. Remember, this is the billionaire who's getting money out of him. Going, America is gonna spend more money. I think it was the recent bills and stuff where it's like we're gonna be over the next 2 years we're gonna waste like $2 trillion unless something changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless Congress does something. And what it looks like is it's going to be. Even Elon said, he was like, dude, they would have Democratic support in both House and Senate, and then they'd have the presidential office. Even he said it. And if it is true that either he did tampering, which alleged, I'm not going to get that conspiratorial. I'm just using the facts, or he at least helped them through all the social media stuff. And now he's saying that, it's like, oh, so it's like game fucking over for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Trump fails, JD Vance can't do shit. He doesn't have the charisma whatsoever. And also, he's going on the Theo Vaughn show. If fucking Theo Vaughn throws out some fucking like, yeah, man, I went to the thing, but I don't really feel confident. What's up with all the money thing, or something out there? It's like, oh my god, bro!
I just feel like Vance is just like
He's just there, bro. He's just there for PR.
He's just there just to fill that slot.
Oh yeah.
He was just a slot filler.
Yeah,
That they were able to place enough money in front of to get him on their team. Because he notoriously was not part of that team
Oh no, he wasn't.
until just
And
randomly he was like,
I,
"Hey, guess who's vice president?"
and you know what's going to end up happening? Vance will probably. You know what? I know Vance is an asshole. He's terrible. But I think he, at least when he came to, battling on that debate stage, he kind of did resemble, at least, debate wise, a little bit of Mitt Romney.
The debate between the two vice president picks resembled what those should kind of look like.
Oh yeah, I want to say this pretty confident. Either Trump dies, either or gets uh taken out of office here soon. For multiple factors, there's clear weight, unlike the first time it happened, because it's like, first off, you're a felon.
Mm.
You have done incredible damage to trade. You battled Harvard. You've lost that. You've lost against school in Maine.
I'm sure there's some sort of insider trading thing you could put on that too, with the whole tariff stuff that
Yeah,
dipped the economy, and then immediately after he was like, "Just kidding," and the economy skyrocketed back up. Like that.
yeah.
That's almost textbook market manipulation.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I, I can sleep well at night knowing that this is the end. This is the sign that, like, oh, you can't operate anymore. Everybody around you's a dumbass. I think almost on all fronts politically, these guys are fucking fighting back. I think the Democrats actually, for once in their fucking life, are actually doing something. And even then, I like to look at my dad as like how the world is operating, right? And my dad has had a foot injury for the past like month and a half or whatever,
Mm.
and he's been sitting at home. And I think him staying here has helped. I can go into psychology of it, right? But that's a different conversation for a different day. But it's like, my dad kind of weaves around that whole thing, and he was fighting my uncle about more traditional values the other day. I go, something happened or something changed.
Something's different.
Something's different. If you're my view on the outside world of how Republicans think the world work, it's like you don't you don't like this. And like the whole ICE thing too, don't even get me started on that. It's like people are also fighting back that too. California did a pretty good job about that the other day. But no, people are still getting deported and stuff. And it's like, where's the due process? Where's all of this stuff? It's like the Democrats are gonna have it fucking ridiculously easy. Either in a new election cycle, because if they deem the whole administration shit, because maybe that could potentially happen.
Mm.
Maybe the Supreme Court can't do it, because even then the red Supreme Court within within that office don't agree with Trump either. God bless. So
Shocking, actually.
yeah, very. So it's just like, it's not going to go their way. Things aren't going to get crazier, because it took time. It took like 6 years before Germany became what it was, right timeline wise.
I think so. It did take quite a while
Yeah. And
before
so
anything.
anything.
Before, because like there had to be the whole rise of the Nazi Party and all of
Mhm.
the, like, basically that party had to exist for a while before even
Yeah,
Adolf
I know
came
I
in.
know I know yeah, I know the history about that, and then it took a while to do that, and they were way faster in everything they did. And it's like, they're signing bills late at night, which is fucked, beyond fucked. I have no idea why they're even allowed to do that at night. The whole office should end at 6,
Mm.
straight up. That's one thing I'd end up changing if I was president. I'd be like, all right, we're gonna new executive order, or we're gonna pass a new law. You guys cannot vote after 6. You're going the fuck home. Uh, like, the president should be working, around the clock, but senators, like, in office, nah, get the fuck out. You're done after like 8, 6. You're not doing it at like 12 o'clock at night. So it's just like, I feel like a lot of people are tired with it, and people do want change. It really does feel like that. people want things like to be better. People want groceries to be cheaper. They want these things. So it's like I also kind of am a little bit happy. Maybe this is the conservative in me living in Moses. It's just like, maybe this is a good thing for the Republicans. Maybe we'll get like a fucking switch around and how they think. Fingers crossed. I
I
doubt
don't
it.
even think that's a conservative mindset. That's just a rational human mindset to have, is be like, man, these guys have had terrible after terrible take. Maybe now they'll start to have some, like, maybe now they'll start to be more common sense, and not even just for them, for just all politics in general. Just they just need to be more rational rather than just
Yeah.
being like, grr, me, this party, me gonna only agree with what this party says, when that's just like,
Never how it should have been. It should have been
no.
more, interweaved.
It should
Because I
be,
feel like
I like crackers, but I don't like cookies. But that doesn't mean that I can exclusively eat crackers. I can also take some cookies if I feel like it.
Oh, here's another thing too that's been happening. Texas is in fucking crazy mode because they're trying to fucking ban THC and marijuana when they already passed it.
Hmm.
And then there was like 500,000 fucking like people saying, "Hey, this is the state of Texas." 500,000 people sent in ballots saying, "Don't do that." The people are telling you, "Don't do that. You have to listen to us." That's how it works. So it's like even Republicans or people living in probably one of the more conservative states are now pushing for more liberal ideas. So it's like people clearly want, and even though I know this is a no word, right? Because the negative connotation with it, but it's like it's clearly that people want socialist policies. They want better Medicaid. They want people to live under it. They want THC, more medical stuff for the most part. We haven't got to transport and stuff for the most part. Maybe we'll see that, but it seems that clearly what the people want are basically Obama like era stuff, just better, like
Just,
universal health care.
given the actual thought process that it probably should have been given before
Yeah,
being told no or yes under these circumstances.
yeah. So I can sleep better at night now, knowing that it's like, yeah, it seems like what roughly 55 to 60% of the country is like, yeah, this is fucking stupid. And then another thing happened too. Apparently, there is like I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but it seems like the Washington State wants to try for universal health care within the state. This was
Wow.
more of a like right. This isn't like official legislation or anything. It hasn't been proposed yet, but it's like people are advocating for it in Washington State, and it looks like it's gaining some ground. So it's like I know that we have a homeless problem and stuff,
Mhm.
but a universal health care would end up solving a lot of the homeless problem because of the drugs.
That just reminded me, now that you said that, it just reminded me of two things. For one, you didn't tell me happy birthday. Shame on you. For two, though, this is the funny part, is I no longer have health insurance.
Oh,
They changed it, so it seems like now once you turn 23, you have to have your own health insurance plan, which I do not, and I don't plan on, because it's a scam.
it's too. Yeah, it is a scam.
So
Uh,
I I guess better hope nothing medically goes wrong with me in the future. So that's what you get to look forward to, Alex. You get to lose your health care.
is that well? Technically, no. It won't. That stuff won't get how those laws work. Is they don't get passed until like
No,
January 1st. So
I
like,
genuinely, my mom was just telling me I got a bill from something I was supposed to have covered by the
mhm.
insurance, and
Yeah.
that was not covered.
Sometime, oh, is it because it wasn't covered because of new legislation, or they're just fucking you over?
No, it sounds like from what it from what my mom read in the thing. I wish she kept it so I could have looked at it. But for what it sounds like is I am no longer insured.
What the okay, and
So
then that's that whole problem.
I don't know if that's legislation or I don't know if that's the health company, but I'm just preparing you now. If you were also on your parents' health insurance, buddy, you got 30 minutes to enjoy that.
I do have one bill paid, but it was before, so the check's already gone through. So I have to pay off. It's like $100 and something bucks, but
You
it's
said to
fine. It's worth it.
pay?
Well, it was for one thing. Most of it got covered, so
Mm,
it's like 100 something.
I see.
But it it took fucking 4 months to bill it, so I'm gonna take my time on that. So fuck them. Uh, but no, it seems like that too. So it's like there's a lot of at least a lot of progressive ideas showing up. People. Oh, I guess on like a bad note too. I don't know if it's fully passed yet because I don't know if it got to the Senate. But it's all like with the big beautiful bill. Fucking, I hate the fucking names that come up with half this shit. Right? I don't.
And
Hold on. Let me see if it's actually
what's funny is it's all terrible. Every part of it's just bad. Big beautiful bill. Horrible. Every aspect horrible.
Hold on.
But we are running low on time.
I Okay, now it's headed for this the Senate, but I don't. Maybe who knows? It might not too. But yeah, no, in terms of news, it's just like I guess on a somewhat like sour yes no. It does seem that like the current old mindset is failing. It's now they're in the new good.
I think my room's been compromised.
Are you
Anyway,
sure?
continue.
I think we're headed for better days, at least starting now. If the big beautiful bill doesn't get passed in the Senate, uh, I think we're good. I don't think any of these people. I think a lot of Americans are ready for change. It really does seem like they're just tired. They're really tired of all this shit because it's not
Yeah.
helping anybody. Eggs haven't gone down, milk hasn't gone down. None of these actual like policies are really good, and even then the whole like tips on taxes, tips on tax, like sure that got passed, but that doesn't do anything really, for the most part. So it's just like that only affects like a very few amount of people, and it's not really helping anybody really.
Yeah. Well, and on that note, we'll move on to the next segment called Caleb's Tech, whatever. I don't remember what I called it. Anyway, right there it is, right there. All right. Welcome to the segment that I'd like to call Caleb Reviews New Technology because I think new tech is neat. I don't know how often this will happen either. So this is special. This is a special thing. Today is the launch of the new Switch, Nintendo Switch 2. So we're going to do an unboxing of that and just check out what they got in store and how it compares to the original. So first we'll talk about the games. I have the original Mario Kart 8 right here. Or I guess not original, it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Switch. And then we got Mario Kart World. About the same box size. Oh, we gotta cut things open. Let's see. I'm curious about the inside. This is always my favorite part of getting a new game as a kid. Was a car ride home, getting a look at the box and being like, ooh, man, I can't wait to play this game. And then my entire weekend would be playing the game. Oh, Ugh, get out of here. Yeah, get off. All right. Okay, so in Mario Kart, let's see if they still do this. So in the original Switch games, there was little inside cover art. Mario Kart 8 is still inside my Switch. So I'll have to get that out. For the new Switch, there is still art. It's a little harder to see because it's red, but there is still art inside. Has some pretty good art. And the cartridge is different. It's red. Little red cartridge right there. Let's see that compare. Is this one off? I gotta close that. Gotta close that. Are they the same size? I think they're the same size. It feels that way, right? Zoom. Focus. It seems like they're the same, pretty much, other than this one's red, these ones are black, and it's a slightly different design. Neat. But we gotta get to the good stuff. Get out of here, screen protector. You're for later, not for now. Oh, okay. Well, I hope I don't forget about that being down there. Now we're getting the good stuff. The Switch 2. What do we got? What do we got in here? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Move stuff. This is not meant for opening anything. Alright. How do I get this open? Here? Here. You're not seeing anything you're not supposed. Caleb and Post, cut out anything that could possibly. Ooh. All right. We got the inside. I think this is pretty close to what it was for when the original Switch came out. Man, what a time. I remember getting off of school that Friday when the Switch 1 came out. That was a crazy day. We got the last Switch 1 original Switch at Walmart when that first released. And just getting to hold that new console was just a wild experience. And now, 8 years later, I'm doing the same thing, except alone. Ooh. These have a nice feel to them. I don't know if I'm just not used to the feeling of new Joy-Cons. These ones feel pretty nice. It's like more matte feeling. That might just be because mine are worn. A lot more clicky buttons. I like that. The joystick feels really good. Like, it feels nice and tight. Where the old Switch joystick is kind of like... Hold on. Comparatively. This is what I did last time. I got my old consoles and compared them. Because we had the Wii U at the time of the Switch 1 release. So it was really just comparing it to the Wii U and like the Xbox and stuff. And the big thing for when the original Switch released is just how tiny everything was, right? Everything was super small. But one thing for sure, yeah, these joysticks are a lot more loose. These are very loose as compared to these. Very tight and bigger. You can already see these are way bigger. Just to compare. Look at the size difference on these. That's pretty for a controller. That's pretty significant. And playing like this, I think is going to be a lot better. These are already feel way more comfortable than the original Switch. Ooh, yeah, this is nice. This is very nice. And then we got, oh, this is it. This is the actual console. Is there anything that somebody could look at and brick my system? Doesn't look like it. Let's get this out of here. Ooh. This is nice. This is very nice. The whole console kind of has a matte feel to it. Like I said, this one might have. It's been a long time since I've held like a new Switch, so this one that definitely showed off something that somebody could use. It's been a long time since I've gotten to hold a new Switch console, and this one definitely feels very smooth. Where this one has kind of like a texture to it. It's very nice. Kind of reminds me of a tiny flat screen TV in a way, which I probably word for word is exactly what I said about the original Switch as well. It'll definitely be more interesting once I get this charged. Unless it does have a little charge to start out, but I doubt it. Oh my gosh, it's on! It turned on! Wait a second. It does have charge. Oh shoot. It's got a little doot. Got a little dooty doot. How am I gonna do this? Is it oh that is clicky. Let's do it again. Oh. Oh wait, this is big. Oh. I'm from the United States in the Americas. Oh, this is cool. Connect to the internet. Okay, we'll get to this. We'll get back to this. That'll take... Look at how big! This is so much big! Hold on. Get back on there. Look at how I'm messing up the screen with my thingies, but look at the difference. It's so big. It's so much bigger. What else we got in here? Switch, health and safety. Never heard of it. HDMI cord. Necessary. Put that there. Joy-Con grips. Oh, sorry. I mean Joy-Con 2 grips. I'm guessing you're really going to have to trust that those magnets never come off. How do you release? Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. That's not a bad release. Let's see. Okay. Grip. How do I grip? How do I... Is it like that? Like this? How do I grip it? How do I grip? Guys, how do I grip? This? Like this? How do I grip? That's how. Okay, so it still has a clicky clack. If you look very close, focus, not on me. That's how that's how you do it. Interesting. Okay, so it is still secure, which is good. That is very good. Oh, this I like. This is good. Oh, it's not even USB. It's USB-C now. But this is good. One thing that that came about very quick with the original Switch was that the charging port or AC adapter, having that all connected together was not good. But when the Nintendo Classic consoles came out, those had the separate blocks that attached to a cord that went into your console, which was way better because then you're not limited to just having to use that product. And here's a new grip. I guess let's see how this works. I guess we can test out how the new grip works. Hold on, hold the phone. But man, this is crazy though, because it really. I was a
freshman
in high school when the original Switch came out. And I just remember, yeah, because it was me, Colby, and Alex going to Walmart getting the last Switch. Walmart was a completely different layout at that time, too. The games are not even in the same area anymore. The game section was way bigger, too. So that's changed. This grip does kind of feel a little weird. I don't know if it's just I'm used to the old grip or if it's just now that it's a bigger size controller, but it does feel a little different. I'll probably get used to it, but there's the whole controller. It's about the size of my face. That's cool. What else we got in here? Adapter cord. The dock. That's pretty much it for the box. This is a new dock. I do kind of like the rounded edge. I am still with others who wish the console had a little more quirky design to it, but I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, this is the thing I was most concerned about. They still do have the 2 USB ports, so feasibly the GameCube adapter still does work. Yeah, and there's the inside. It does look like it's only the 2 USBs now, though, because the original Switch dock. I'm making a terrible mess right now. This is awful. This is terrible. Yeah, see, the new one doesn't have that third USB that the original Switch had. So that is the only thing that seems like is missing from the new dock. There is a LAN cable though, and I don't see that on the original dock. So that is interesting. That's an interesting development. Other than that, yeah, it's pretty much it for the unboxing. I think it's really cool. Let me get this off. Like I said, it's always fun getting a new console. Last one I bought was the Series X, I believe. And that was a hassle to get. Now, so far, the Series X has been the hardest console I've ever had to get. That one took forever. The pre-orders were insane. You couldn't get that console for a long time. I think people still struggle to get PS5s and Series X's. But yeah, with the Series X, I got lucky that I was able to get in for purchasing at Walmart. And that was when I was able to get that. I think I was one of the first people out of anyone I knew to get either of those consoles when they released. So I'm coming up as the guy who starts off with the new consoles. So that's what I'm gonna be known as. I'm gonna be known as the new tech guy. When there's new tech that I'm really interested in, I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna tell you guys about it. I guess I can set up the internet, and I'll try to keep talking while I do. Ooh, this feels nice. But yeah, I think so far, ergonomics wise, it feels very nice to use. Like this is a very nice console to just hold. And I think it does seem like they took everything that was a criticism of the old Switch and just improved upon that. Hopefully that means that there's no Joy-Con drift. And hopefully that means that my A and B buttons won't seppuku themselves like that recent development that I just had with the gosh dang freaking Mario Kart that just happened. I don't know how that came to be, but all right. Anyway, let me get this. Anyway, I don't think the rest of it really matters. If it does matter, I'll show you. With Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want, however you want. Sounds about the same. The system you can stand at whatever angle you like, just pull the rear stand. Now, oh yeah, there's an adapter to charge at the top, which honestly just made sense to begin with. It being where you stand it never made sense. That was just always a. I mean, it made sense for docking, but like charging while playing, that never made sense. And I think that's the same way it was with the Switch Lights too. Just a bad placement. But I'm glad now there's two charging ports. That is very good. I guess more reflection. It's just crazy. I always love when the new consoles come out. Uh, it seems like there's a lot of hype behind this one, despite all the controversy that's circling about. It seems like the general public is still pretty excited about this. There was a pretty big line to get this for midnight release. So it was interesting. It was interesting to see. It wasn't like crazy like how it was back in the day, but then again, I am living in a small town, and not everyone's that crazy about games. But there was more people than I would have expected there to be, and there are still people purchasing them. So it seems like they're very prepared for this time because original Switch was notoriously hard to get a hold of during that first couple months, I'd say. Same with like I said, everybody knows PlayStation 5 and Series X were like you struck gold if you were able to find one of those. And if you were lucky enough to survive the scalpers tearing you to pieces. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I think it's very good so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Like I said, ergonomically feels very good. This is what I'm most excited for. Mario Kart. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Seems like it's solid. Feels more sturdy, I'd have to say, than this one. Definitely heavier. It is definitely very heavy. The one thing though for sure, not designed for pocket play. That's the one thing I can tell. However, if they consider my idea for an accessory, little screen about DS sized, plops right on top of here, makes for perfect mobile play. Think about that one. Probably would have been more convenient than the camera. Might be controversial. Didn't get the camera though, or Pro Controller. Which I probably should have got the Pro Controller. Didn't really think I need the camera. Still am up in the air on buying the camera. It'd be funny, but I don't think it's really necessary. But yeah, overall, general consensus is I think it looks very neat. Uh, I'm excited to put some hours into these new games and see what Nintendo brings in the future of games. A lot of racing games, it seems like this year. Ooh, and Game Boy, or not Game Boy, GameCube Online. Yes, give me all the GameCube Online, please. Oh yeah, that's it. I'm gonna miss this guy. He stuck with me through thick and thin, and I even cracked. Hold on. Zoom, enhance. You can see the camera. I even cracked the screen protector. It was a loyal console. I'll give it that. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's get back to the episode. All right. Oh, wait.
Wow, Caleb, that was so interesting.
Yeah, wow. Well, thank you guys. Time to, I guess, wrap it up. Cool tech, terrible news, but also kind of interesting news. It also could lead to good news. But for now,
Potential.
oh my gosh. Why? Did you ever think as a child that you're like, man, children act all stupid. Adults, they don't act like this. I can't wait to get out into the adult world.
No, they exactly act like
Literally,
children.
they don't change. They continue to. Arguably, I'd almost say they got worse. The adults, like once you enter the adult world, they're arguably worse.
Yeah, because now it's just unchecked. It's unchecked, children stuff.
So that
I'm assuming you're saying that because I haven't seen the video of the Switch 2 release. Or no?
no, I was referring to what you were just talking about, that Trump and
Yeah.
Elon and terrible politics. I haven't, like I said, I haven't been on social media at all.
Mhm.
When I got the Switch 2, everyone was just chill, waiting in line. I haven't heard really anything about conflict with that.
Apparently, it's pretty indestructible to like a lot of basic stuff. It went through like
Wow.
some guys like YouTuber test, so it's apparently pretty durable.
There you
You're
go.
getting your money's worth through durability, but
That
past that, also, I do have one thing to say about the Switch 2. Now looking back at it, a lot of those tariffs didn't go through.
yeah.
So does Nintendo really have to sell those video games at $80 now?
You know, with the context of where we're at now, no, they really didn't. They just chose to.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah, well, they are a business, so the argument is, what more would you expect from a corporation?
Yeah, that's so fucking terrible.
Like,
Oh
do
god.
you honestly expect a corporation to be like it's so rare that you hear a corporation say, we're gonna give our consumers fair prices, that when you do hear about it, like those people are showered with praise, because you never hear that happening.
No. Oh, put this in the news segment, Alex. In the future, I do have like a really good positive like company news thing I did want to say.
Okay.
So Warhammer, my little guys. Oh, you can't see them. I'll bring my favorite one. I haven't painted them yet. I know it's been months, but focus. No, it won't focus. But Warhammer Games Workshop had a really good, successful year. They had a lot of excess profit, and so they're giving out a lot of money to its employees. So depending on the math, do you know how much on bonuses a Games Workshop employee is actually getting this year?
I do not.
They're roughly either getting $8,000 to $18,000 in bonuses.
Huh.
So
Pretty good.
I guess in good company news, sure, Games Workshop might not be totally efficient at making models or doing any of this excess stuff people complain and bitch at them about for being slow, but it looks like they do take care of their employees to at least a pretty good degree. Kind of makes me wonder, like, if I end up moving to Seattle and I need to find like another job for rent, like low key, I'd be like, what if I just work for like a Games Workshop store?
Hey.
Because it looks like they're doing that.
Oh, yeah. I got nothing. I got nothing witty to say. That's just genuinely decent. That's good.
Yeah.
But
But other than that, that's some pretty good news. Good worker pay. So maybe
yeah.
we're looking into the right step. But past that, got really nothing past that.
Yeah, things as usual. It's actually hilarious that May was the dry month, and now that we're in June, it's like, oh, first week of June. There you go, the major news.
Yeah, it's funny.
But anyway,
Hold on, and then we have one brief. We don't even really have to talk about it. Just put this image on screen, bro.
looking
Just
at
put this arc system. Okay, it didn't fucking load.
Marvel, yeah,
Marvel, baby, Marvel is back,
Marvel.
and it's made by my
Mm,
favorite company.
mm. We will discuss that
Arc
in the
system.
future, I'm
We
sure.
will.
Anyway, that's it for this week's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Everybody, wish Alex a happy late birthday by the time this is out. And
That will be
Alex,
wow.
say goodbye to your health insurance.
Wow, what
Yeah,
is that under? Now I'm curious.
happy birthday. Welcome to the year where nobody likes you.
Yeah, fucking, I hate it, bro.
Anyway, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.